Londoners are being encouraged to help preserve the graves of veterans at hundreds of locations right across the capital. The Commonwealth War Graves Commission, which honours men and women who gave their lives in the First and Second World Wars, is looking to recruit volunteers to help it in its mission and connect people with a history right on their doorstep. Luke Hanrahan has more.
Scattered around London cemeteries, the gravestones of servicemen and women from across the Commonwealth who fought in World War I and II. Many were injured in action, treated in the capital's hospitals before dying of their wounds. Now, a mission has been launched to preserve their graves.
Conflict is all around us, and those wars, those great wars, we don't want to see that happen again. That loss of life, we have to be reminded that these are not just any people, but they could be our sons and daughters, our grandchildren, and we need to make sure that we do not forget.
There are tens of thousands of Commonwealth war graves across London. Often their families have moved on. This project is about protecting these gravestones and the individual stories behind them. Jerry and Mark are two volunteers who've taken on the task, inspired by the people these headstones represent.
I had one, we had an oak tree growing through the middle of it. The relatives have moved on. They don't live locally, and if they were just left, they would just fall into neglect, and the soldiers, the brave soldiers, wouldn't be honoured in the way they should be.
I've had colleagues who've been lost in previous conflicts and everything, and it's important that we remember them.
Soldiers, sailors and airmen from countries across the British Empire who gave their lives to defend freedom. The goal is to attract younger volunteers to keep these memories alive.
Our ambition in London is to connect to the people in London in maybe a slightly different way. So the project's been incredibly successful. As I said, we've got 1,900 volunteers, but we're looking to try and broaden that message, connect to some people that don't know about the work that we do, that don't know about the stories.
A commonwealth of cooperation that helped to win the wars. Memories these volunteers hope to protect. Luke Hanrahan, BBC London.